Welcome back to These Things Are Written. Glad you're joining us on this Friday. We are looking at Genesis chapter 45 today. A reminder that I really strongly encourage you to read through the whole chapter before we start, or at some time, even if it's after. But read through it all because there are parts that time does not allow me to read. We're going to be beginning with the first verse. Remember that Joseph has been testing his family. His brothers who have come to get grain, not just once, but twice, the second time having to bring his brother Benjamin. Joseph tests them by entrapping Benjamin and saying that he needs to stay with him and be his servant because he tried to steal Joseph's cup. However, Judah stepped forward. Judah, the one who sold David into slavery, saw that what he had done was wrong, and he had promised his father that nothing would happen to Benjamin. He volunteered to take Benjamin's place. We'll start with verse 1. Then Joseph could not control himself before all those who stood by him. He cried, "Make everyone go out from me." So no one stayed with him when Joseph made himself known to his brothers. And he wept aloud so that the Egyptians heard it, and the household of Pharaoh heard it. And Joseph said to the brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father alive?" But his brothers could not answer him, for they were dismayed at his presence. They were dismayed at his presence? The brother that they thought was dead is now alive? Why would they be dismayed? Oh, wait. Because they had sold him into slavery. They had treated him difficultly and harshly. And now he was in charge of them. He could command them and charge them or set them free. He was in control, and to be honest, it worried them, don't you think? Verse 4, so Joseph said to his brothers, "Come near to me, please." And they came near. I'm guessing they were a little afraid, by the way. And he said, "I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt. Now do not be distressed or angry with yourselves because you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life. For the famine has been in this land for 2 years, and there are yet 5 years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve you as a remnant on earth, and to keep alive for you many survivors. So it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh and a lord to his house and ruler over the land of Egypt." A key part, a key understanding for us. When we are going through difficult times, when difficult times are going through, putting us through the ringer, it's important for us to remember that sometimes God has a greater plan than we can see. Joseph didn't understand why he was being punished in this way. He didn't understand why he was sent to Egypt. But he saw it God revealed to him in wisdom that it was God who sent him there to preserve his brothers, his father, his whole family. Verse 8, it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh and a lord to all his house and ruler over all the land of Egypt. Hurry and go up to my father and say to him, "Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me Lord of all Egypt. Come down to me, do not tarry. You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near me, you and your children and your children's children, and your flocks, your herds, and all that you have. There I will provide for you. For there are yet 5 years of famine to come, so that you and your household and all that you have do not come to poverty." Skipping ahead a couple verses to verse 14. Then he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. and he kissed all his brothers and wept upon them. After that, his brothers talked to him. Isn't forgiveness sweet? Forgiveness is sweet for the one who is forgiving. It is sweet for the one who is being forgiven. And we see this happening in this passage. Joseph showing his forgiveness and the brothers receiving it. Maybe not fully understanding what was going on, but receiving it in faith and trusting in Joseph. Let's move ahead. Verse 14. When the report was heard in Pharaoh's house, Joseph's brothers have come. It pleased Pharaoh and his servants, and Pharaoh said to Joseph, say to your brothers, do this. Load your beast and go back to the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households and come to me, and I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you shall eat of the fat of the land. Pharaoh, it's amazing that he was willing to have them come in. Well, he wanted to keep Joseph. Joseph, after all, had saved him and his country. Joseph had made Pharaoh rich, and he was rewarding him for his faithfulness to Pharaoh and his faithfulness to his own family. Let's continue, going all the way down to verse 25 it is, verse 25. So they went up out of Egypt and came to the land of Canaan to their father Jacob. And they told him, Joseph is still alive, and he is ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Israel said, is it enough? Joseph, my son, is still alive. I will go and see him before I die. Imagine Jacob's joy, right? It is enough. Joseph, my son, is alive. That would be good enough for him. But yet he knows there's something better. I will even get to see him before I die. Just imagine his joy, but also his sadness of the years lost to Joseph, of being with Joseph, but yet understanding, as I'm sure Joseph would share with him later, of how God used this whole incident for his good. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope to be able to see you in church this weekend as well. And back here on Monday as we look at chapter 46. God bless.